Hey YouTube, it's Biliv here, and today I'm here with the first episode of my Team career mode on F1 2022, and I'm not going to waste any time because I want to get into the racing as soon as possible, so I'm just going to set up my career straight away and then try and get into it as quickly as possible. I want to be a newcomer on the grid because what's the fun in not challenging yourself? And I want this series to have a bit of longevity, so if I just go straight away for championship contender, makes it a bit boring. So we're going to be a newcomer on the grid. It's disappointing that you can still only do 22, 16 or 10 race seasons. You can't choose a specific amount of races you want to do. So we're just going to go for a full season. Right, I just want to go through the settings that I'm going to set up for this career mode. So we're going to have full qualifying and long sessions, so 50% races. Ideally, I'd want to do full-length races, but one, I'm not sure I've got enough time to edit full-length races. And two, if I did full-length races on a controller, I wouldn't have any hands after 2 episodes. Going to have approximate forecast accuracy, so I don't know exactly when it's going to rain and stuff like that, so it's going to be a bit of guesswork what tyres I've got to go on sometimes. In terms of these settings, we've changed a few things around. Increased department event frequency, so when those things come up, they'll come up more often, and I'll have to make those decisions between accepting and declining certain things, which give me certain rewards or might have certain downsides, so those will happen more often. And with these settings, the ones with the acclaim rate, I'm hoping that'll lead to a few more driver moves potentially, so vary things up a bit. And the resource rate, I put mine on reduced and kept the AI on default because I found last year that it was quite easy to get to be one of the top cars really quick. Like in my second season in my own Team career mode I did last year, I was already winning races. So hopefully having resource rate and cash rate a bit lower will mean that I can't advance so quickly, so I should stay similar to the rest of the grid. I'm having standard fault frequency, high fault types, so anything can happen. We can have the major faults, which means we'll end up DNFing from races and stuff, so that is the full high stakes. And in terms of these things, regular corner cutting, because I'm on controller and I'm going to get a lot of penalties if it's on strict. And I've gone for the immersive experience with pit stop, safety car, and the formation lap. See, I don't usually do formation laps, but they brought in this new thing this year, so I want to try it out. I'm going to go with 80 AI difficulty. I'd usually play at 90, but it's a new game, and I did a race as soon as I got on the game just to practice, and 80 seemed about right, although I do plan on raising that throughout the series, because I probably will get better at the game as the game goes on, so we're just starting at 80, but that'll probably go up. I have got flashbacks on, but I don't intend on using them. That's just in sort of very rare situations where sort of things happen which shouldn't do. So they're there, but I promise you, I won't be using them. Standard car damage and damage rate, and then none of the other stuff really matters. But anyway, let's confirm these settings and get on to the next step. I'm not going to be using my team icons because I want it as authentic as possible. I don't want drivers from the past being in my career mode. So let's start it and get into selecting the sponsor, I think. Okay, so it's not the sponsor first, but that is one of these 5 steps I've got to do here. First, I've got to create my driver. I'm going to go with this avatar because it's the one that looks like me most in real life. Obviously, I'm British. You can probably tell by my accent how I didn't pronounce the T's in British. I could go for McKinnon as my commentary name. If you've watched my Barrow career mode, you'll know the significance of that name. But for this first season, I'm just going to go for the rookie because it's what I am. And for my driver number, ideally I'd want 47 because it's my favourite number, but Mick Schumacher's stolen it. So objective number 1 in this career mode, get rid of Schumacher. No, I'm joking. I can't do that, unfortunately. But because I can't be 47, I'm just going to reverse the number and be 74 instead. Oh. I want it to be called BilivGames Formula 1 Racing, but I can't. Yeah, BilivGames F1 Racing, that's fine. I mean, why can't you have so many characters? Have you seen Aston Martin's team name? Aston Martin, Aramco Cognizant Formula 1 team. Why can't I have that? I've got to stick to BilivGames F1 Racing. They got other long ones. Alfa Romeo Racing F1 Team Orlen, a Mercedes AMG Petronas Formula 1 team. They're both way longer than BilivGames F1 Racing or BilivGames Formula 1 Racing. Discrimination, I say, just because we're a newcomer on the grid. Okay, so I've got to choose my sponsors now, and it's quite tempting to go for this one because got a high payout, but I don't know how bad my car's going to be. I'm not sure if I'm going to achieve 2 points finishes, but I think I want to take the risk. I'm going to say that we're going to be good enough to at least get 2 points this season as a team as well. I don't even have to get the points finishes. So I think I'm going to go with Echo as my primary sponsor. And I really like the logo, so it's another reason to choose them. So I've got 4.5 mil to play with, and I think from what I've already seen, for the second driver, I think Oscar Piastri is $1 million, and I think he's the best one there, and I want Piastri, so I can't go for anything over 3.5, so Ferrari's off the table, and I'm not really sure about Mercedes because I'm losing 400k there by going for a bit of extra durability. So I think I'm going to go for the Red Bull powertrain because it's the same performance as the Mercedes. And I could just do a bit of improvement on the durability on the R&D. So there we see Oscar Piastri, 1 million cost. And the thing that really sets him apart from the other racers, I think, is his racecraft. If you look at Djokovic, the second best, slightly lower pace, slightly lower awareness, but his racecraft is so much higher. So he might be getting maybe a place lower in qualifying, but his ability to be able to make up those places in a race is a lot more than Djokovic. So Oscar Piastri is going to be my driver for this season. My second driver, that is. And I'm happy with that. So let's confirm all these selections. Right, I've just realised you will have seen Piastri in the race suit, I think. And I want to save the colour scheme I'm going for being on the car, you seeing that. So I'm probably going to blur Piastri out in that last section just so you can't see what the race suit looks like before you've seen the colours on the car. And this is the livery we're going for this season. These are the colours I like to go for, this blue and pink. It's a bit of an odd combination, but me and my friend have been using it in pro clubs probably since like FIFA 17. And we like to call it the Tango Ice Blast colour scheme. And if you've ever had a Tango Ice Blast, you know exactly what I mean. So this is the colour scheme I'm going to be going with. And I'm probably going to be sticking with this for most of career mode, I'll say. And now you'll see this is what the race suit looks like. And I don't think it's too bad of a race suit. I think it's quite nice. Right, so this is what I got for my badge and team colours. I wanted to make the background of the badge white, but it just didn't look right. So I made it black. It looks better. And then my team colours are the primary, this blue. Secondary is this pink. And the tertiary is white. And now we're ready to advance, so let's probably get into the interview with Will Buxton, I guess. Hey, look, it's Arav. I'm not gonna lie, it did look kind of underwhelming during that section there, especially because it's got no sponsors on. Right, so basically with these questions, I'm going to just look towards hopefully maximising a claim, and I'm maximising my chassis department and the chassis on my car probably, because these new cars are heavy, so I need to make them as light as possible as soon as possible. So if we look at the chassis, it is already spec 1 here, which is good, and we've already got a couple of chassis upgrades, which is what I wanted. And we actually have a pretty decent chassis already. We are exactly in the middle with 5 either side of us, so decent chassis. And if we look at our car, we have the 4th worst overall, which isn't too bad actually. But we've got 1,000 resource points here, so I'm going to make a chassis upgrade already. And this is more weight reduction, and it should be ready by Bahrain, hopefully if it doesn't fail. So let's do that, and hopefully we'll have it by Bahrain. And we don't have enough resource points for anything else. So I'll have to wait until we get more before I can do more R&D. And now with some of the 2.3 million we have, I'm going to upgrade the quality control on the aero because that's our second most important department. Probably increasing downforce, maybe reducing drag a bit because the car's so heavy you want them to speed up a bit. And increasing the quality control will mean parts are less likely to fail, so we'll get more consistent upgrades and we'll get them on the car more often, hopefully. And I don't have much money left now. I don't really have enough. But after the next race, I think I'm going to buy the analyst suite part of the personnel facilities because it can improve second driver's experience, which will mean they will be able to earn more R&D because the more experience the second driver has, the more practice programs they'll complete and the more R&D points they'll earn. Right, I've just put sponsor all over the car, so it looks a little bit better now. I know it's the same sponsor, so it does look a bit weird with the same sponsor all over the car, but it looks a little better having sponsors instead of a plain livery. Right, putting these activities in. Just before the first race of the season, I'm going to do a driver training camp because that'll increase Piastri's stats and specifically his focus. Throughout the season, I want to do as many of these activities as I can to improve Piastri's focus or keep it high, because the higher his focus is, the better he'll keep performing. And then I'm going to do a chassis and aero department focus because that's what I'm actually focusing on at the minute. And it'll give me 400 resource points, which I can then use to go and get another upgrade. So now all I need to do is advance. So it's been one day and I've already got one of these personnel department decisions to make. So let's see what it is. So it's talking about Piastri and they either want to improve his pace or his awareness. So I think I'm going to go for pace. Already it is quite high on him, but if he can get a really good place in qualifying with his good racecraft, he stands in with a decent chance of not necessarily points, but a high position outside the points maybe. Right, so I've got enough R&D points for another upgrade here, and I think I'm going to improve the rear downforce because I've seen these cars are quite unstable. The rear end can kick out quite a lot and you can lose the rear end quite easily. So I want to improve the rear downforce here. And that won't be ready until after Saudi Arabia, unfortunately, but what can you do? And that is really good news that our chassis upgrade has completed with no issues. So we will have the upgrade going into Bahrain. And I've got enough R&D for another upgrade here. So I think I'm going to go with roll dampers because I've seen tyre wear also is pretty bad on this game at the start. So try and improve that as quickly as I can at the start. And I've got enough R&D to do it. This again won't be ready until after Saudi Arabia. But again, what can I do? And now I do have a little bit of extra money. So I'm going to buy this upgrade because I'll have 420k lying around afterwards, which is plenty enough, I think. So let's buy this upgrade. Hopefully improves experience. And that should be ready before Saudi Arabia. And these are now Piastri's stats at the minute. So he's actually sitting at 74 right now. So that's pretty good going into the first race of the season. So without wasting any time, let's get into this first race of the season in Bahrain. So we're going straight into qualifying here. And I did do practice. And a couple of things I realized were that this car is incredibly heavy. Like you can tell it is so hard to get it around the corners. That was a really poor corner there, but it is quite hard to get around the corners. But the second thing I noticed was that I absolutely hate the sound of this engine. I forgot that I hate the sound of the Red Bull powertrains in real life. Like, it sounds just like the AlphaTauri car does. I think it sounds slightly different to what the Red Bull does, but this sounds just like the AlphaTauri car in real life, and that sounds absolutely horrible. So I'm going to put up with this awful engine for the rest of the season. It's too deep to be an F1 car. This lap, though, is going to bring me in with a 1:32.1, which has put me second at the minute, but I doubt that many people have actually done laps. And because now I've got no hot lap battery left, I don't think I'm actually going to be able to set a decent time here, although I have gone up on my delta there, so we'll see if I can do a second lap. And this second lap's been awful, so I am just going to go straight back into the pits here. But after that first run, I'm currently sat in 14th, and everyone else had a run as well, so that's not too bad. So let's see if I can improve on this second lap here, and I didn't get a great exit out of the last corner, so you can already tell I'm a little bit down on my delta. And I've braked a bit late into that corner, so that really isn't going to help at all, even though it has gained me time, so maybe it will help. Maybe I just went into that corner really badly on my first lap. Okay, the radio cut in and then just no one said anything. That's cool. Oh, I've spun a little bit there. I felt the back end go a little bit, but it hasn't actually detrimented me at all. I thought I was going to spin there because I felt the back end go a little bit, but it's not actually caused me any detriment. I'm still up on my delta. I'm somehow in 13th on the timing board, even though I'm pretty sure I was 15th before I started this lap, but I've rounded the final corner now, and as I approach the line, I'm going to get myself 5 tenths up on my delta. I didn't see where I finished, so let's see that now, and it's 9th. That's pretty good, and maybe the difficulty's a little bit too low. Although Piastri did finish 8th, so maybe I spoke a little bit too soon, because my teammate did pretty well as well. So that is us through to Q2 in the first race of the season. Both Alphas out, that's surprising, they've got a pretty good car. So, first lap of Q2 here, let's see how I can do. And obviously I've got no delta, so I'm not going to be able to know how I did compared to myself in Q1, but that corner felt better. Hamilton did a 1:31.7, and I beat Hamilton in Q1, so maybe I'm aiming, if I can beat a 1:31.7, I'm doing pretty well. Oh, I've gone really wide there. That's really not going to help me at all. That's going to give me an awful time come the end of this. Leclerc's set a 1:31.1, so that's sort of the pace we're looking at the top. So Hamilton's only 6 tenths off, so I'm thinking I've cut that corner massively. But I'm thinking if I hadn't have spun, I'm still not making a 1:31.7, I don't think. So as we come to the line here, we're going to get a 1:32.1 pretty much, and that's put me 5th. So after everyone's done their first lap there, I'm in 10th, which is quite a surprise because I went very wide on one of those corners and lost so much time. So I'm currently sitting in 10th at the minute. As it stands, I will be through to Q3. I know I can put in a better lap here, so let's hope I can do that and get myself into Q3 without having to worry about if I can make it just on my last lap or not. Okay, my delta's gone positive after that corner. I'm sitting in 11th at the minute, so I need to beat Magnussen and Vettel now. Actually, Vettel set a 1:34.6 or 1:31.6. It was a 1:30 something, 1:31.6. So if I can better that, let's see if I can. I'm not going to be able to actually. I set a 1:32.9 or a 1:31.9 even. So I am 11th on the grid. Couldn't quite make it through to Q3. But for our first ever race, 11th is pretty solid, I think. Yeah, about 3 tenths off Vettel in the end.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best, of course, at turn 1, and then another soon after into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into that tight left-hander of turn 10. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, George Russell and Hamilton, Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Vettel and the rookie, Magnussen, Fernando Alonso, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Tsunoda, Albon, Guan Yu Zhou and Valtteri Bottas, Latifi, Gasly, Stroll and Oscar Piastri. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as once again we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
So it looks like we've been moved up into 10th place on the grid. So someone in front of us must have got a grid penalty. And unfortunately, I think Piastri also got a grid penalty because he was right at the back. Getting grid penalties this early on, that is strange. And I think the strategy to go for here is medium to hard. If you're qualifying in Q3 now, you're not forced into a 2-stopper, which is going to make it a bit more difficult for me to potentially get into the top 10. But I am starting there, so if I can hold my position, maybe I can grab some points in the opening race. So we've got a line up on the grid here, getting our grid spot for the race. And I managed a green, which is okay. Now the lights are going out here. Let's see if we can get a good start off the line here. Those lights were on for a very long time, but I've got a cracking start on Vettel there. I've managed to get a really good start there. I'm going to see if I can dive down the inside here. Brake a little bit later than everyone else. I've gone into the back of Perez. Managed to avoid damage, I think. Got a warning for a collision there. Then I've gone very wide. Had to slow down a lot. Russell's got back past me, but we're into 6th place here, which right off the start isn't too bad. I expect the faster cars behind me will overtake me, but 6th place off the start, pretty decent, I think. Hamilton's right up behind me, though. So, he's going to go past me here. I didn't think he'd go past me. I didn't try and defend in time. And that's one position lost already, which I kind of expected, though. Now Schumacher's got a slipstream on me. He's going to try and move past me. I'm going to try go round the outside here, stay in front of him, and I have done. So I've kept myself in 7th position here, ahead of Schumacher. Schumacher and Alonso fighting behind me. But Alonso's dived sort of down the inside there. I had to oh, it's Ocon actually. I had to sort of back away from the corner because I thought Ocon was going to come sliding into me. Schumacher's overtaken me. Now Magnussen's on me. And this isn't going to go well. I'm not going to be able to try and take the position back because, oh my God, Ocon's there now. I've damaged my wing. For God's sake. There was just too many people. I got confused. I got scared. And now I'm a few positions further back, it's safe to say. Although the damaged wing doesn't seem to be affecting me too badly, actually. So let's see if I can get to the pit stop with this wing and then...
strategy available on the MFD.
Well, he's telling me there's a new strategy, so... maybe I do change my wing. I'll see how it goes to the end of this lap. Whether I need to change it or not. Well, Ocon's gone very wide there. Magnussen went a little bit wide too. And that means I've gained a position here, but it might not mean much if Ricciardo's able to overtake me. I shouldn't have gone to the inside because I'm going to have to turn really tight with the damaged wing. And I've actually managed it. I've kept Ricciardo out there. It will be really here will be the test of how bad the wing is. And it's not too bad. I'm not going to lie. It's not too bad. I think I'll go one more lap and see how I manage, but it's not awful. I've kept in front of Ricciardo there, and I've got round and round the corner, so... And the wing is... It's yellow, so... It's not too bad. No, I want to stay actually on the left here. I want to stay on the outside. He's going to try and move on me. There's someone next to Ricciardo as well. They've gone up the inside. Ricciardo didn't. Stayed ahead of them. I've managed to squeeze Alonso out, so I'm in 10th here. The wing isn't affecting me too badly, but I think it is slightly affecting me, so I'm going to get it repaired when I do pit. But I'm thinking maybe I might just pit a few laps earlier onto the hards instead of
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
going as late as I was meant to, although I did struggle a lot around that section there. I lost a lot of time. Let's see what the strategy is that they're saying. Soft to hard.
Copy that.
I didn't even choose anything. I was just looking and then it went away. Now Alonso's trying to move on me. Try and stay ahead of him. Gonna try and squeeze him wide there. Can't go full pelt round here because of my wing, but I've managed to stay ahead of him. And I think, honestly, the time I'm going to lose from having to do 2 pit stops will be less than what I will from having wing damage. So I think... Oh, God. That was my fault. I think I'll just stick with the wing damage. And I've just realised everyone's going to have DRS on me because I was in front of Alonso. Just as long as Ricciardo can't get up to me, I'll be fine. Let's stay behind here because I should have DRS into the next section. Oh, Alonso has locked up there and gone into Tsunoda. And I should have DRS here, and I do. And they're quite far behind now. Let's see if I can gap a second to them. I have. I want to try and keep this second behind so I can keep them out of DRS range. I've gone deep into that corner, though, but Alonso locking up and going into Tsunoda there and wiping him out. That's given me 10th place back, and that has really helped me there. Tsunoda's getting very close to me down here. I think he's going to dive down the inside. Oh, he's not actually. I expected him to, but he'll have DRS up this next straight here as well. Let's see if he'll make a move on me here. And he is going to, and I can't really afford to defend the inside because my wing isn't good enough to turn tight enough to defend the inside. He's right next to me here. I'll see if I can keep him out through here. And that line is not good for me through there. He's still right next to me. And wheel to wheel with Tsunoda all the way down here. He's still next to me. And if he can get ahead of me here, then I'll have DRS. So hopefully I can get ahead of him at the next corner. So I've got DRS here. So let's try and catch back up with Tsunoda. But Ricciardo is right behind me. And I had a poor exit from that corner. So I can't catch Tsunoda here. And I've braked really late for some reason there. Meant Ricciardo's been able to gain a little bit. And not being able to flat out it around there isn't helping me because Ricciardo's just getting closer now. He's going to overtake me here. There's not even anything I can do about it, really. Try and slip behind him, get a slipstream. I'm going to have DRS down the next straight. And he's locked up. That's happening to the AI a lot. They are locking up quite frequently.
I've got information on Stroll. Okay, they're out of this race.
Looks like he's had a mechanical failure by the looks of it because he's just sort of stopped on track in Sector 1. Keep going wide on that corner because I'm so used to being able to flat out and I'm not able to. I didn't manage to get DRS there, which I thought I would have done. Ricciardo will probably have it on me here. He's getting closer. Is he going to dive? He's not going to dive down the inside. Ricciardo, king of the late breakers, didn't actually go for it there. I'm thinking by the looks of it, I'm starting to form a little train behind me, a little bit of a train behind me. And Ricciardo's just breathed past me there. Again, I've gone wide on that corner. I keep doing that. Should get DRS though here. Although Lando's tried to move on me. Oh, he's forced me so wide there, Norris has. Jesus, that was dirty from Lando. And now I'm down in 14th. He forced me off the circuit there. That was quite dirty. You go back up the inside of Alonso here. Try and get a switch back. That was quite a nice move, I do say so myself. Not to like blow my own trumpet, but that was a decent move. Especially with the busted wing. They're going 3 wide behind me. Let's see what happens with that. Oh, I thought Piastri was going to end up down the inside there. He eventually did, but I think it's because I backed out. But now Piastri's right behind me, and since he is my teammate, I'm not actually going to fight him. Because he's actually going for the overtake on me there, so... Oh, just give him a little tap. Go on, Piastri, get out of the corner. Got to be honest, from the outside, this car does look so nice. Who have I got behind me? I've got Bottas behind me. Didn't go for a move there like Lando did. I thought he was going to. I've come out of that corner really poor, though. I am losing quite a lot. I think this wing is starting to negatively affect me quite badly because I am losing quite a lot of places. Can I dive down the inside of Bottas here? I've made contact with him quite severely. He cut the corner off quite early there. I didn't think he was going to, but I have managed to come out in front of him. Now Bottas is going to dive down the inside of me here. He didn't make it stick there, but he'll have DRS now, so surely he'll get past me there. There's no point even trying to fight this. I've not got enough ERS to do so. Gaz is right behind me. We're here with DRS, and he's a lot quicker than me. He's gone to the inside. And I've just had to pull wide there because I thought I was going to go back into the back of him because of where he pulled across me in the braking zone. And he's already gained so much on me there. I think my wing is really hurting me now because my tyres are going off. So I think this wing is really starting to affect me. And now Albon's behind me. The Williams, the worst car, is fighting me now. So if Albon overtakes me, you know it really is bad. Hopefully Ocon will have a bit of a fight with him and he won't overtake. He's going to overtake me, isn't he? Okay, we can't be having this. I'm taking this place back at this corner. Gonna try and force him a little bit wide out of there. I went over the curb slightly and went into him a little bit, but I mean, I got the place back, so...
Here's some information on Russell for you. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car.
Well, looks like he can't be Mr. Consistency in this series like he is in real life. Right, Ocon's gone past me there, but go try and the same thing I did on Alonso, I think. And I've just got past him before the yellow flag, so I'm not going to get penalised for that. Okay, my box lap was meant to be lap 13, I think, but I'm going to go lap 11 instead because this wing is starting to really detriment me. And I think at this point, the amount of time I'll lose on hards at the end is, when they're worn, is less than what I'm losing now because of the wing. So, yeah, I'm going to put myself on hards now and go to the end and see if I can hopefully regain some of the places I've lost because of this wing. Albon's going to try and move on me here. And I'm not going to be able to get the switch back on him, which I've done a couple of times because he braked a little bit too late for me, or he didn't get far enough past me, but I've kept my place. Now I'm going to come into the pit stop a little bit earlier here, so hopefully if I get a good outlap, maybe a couple good outlaps, maybe I can undercut a couple cars and be ahead of them. I've got good on the pit stop timing. The wheels have gone on fine by the looks of it. The wing is going on fine, so let's get that on quicker, please, and make me get out of the pit. And I'm going to come out fighting Alonso probably here. And I've had to brake really early because I literally cannot brake early enough there to stop myself from overshooting that corner really far. Now I'm 19th, at least I'm ahead of Guan Yu Zhou, or Zhou Guan Yu even. But these tyres being so cold is really causing me a lot of detriment. Oh my god. So deep into that corner because of cold tyres.
Charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
I'm planning on it, mate, but not yet. I'm struggling with tyres at the minute. That is really wide. Jesus Christ. I braked early into that as well, and you just underestimate it, how cold the tyres actually are. They're looking a bit more green now, though. People are going to be coming in around lap 13, probably, so I'm going to try a push lap and see if I can get ahead of people. I've got 90% battery, so I think I can probably do a full push lap this lap. Albon's in the pits now. Let's see if I can get ahead of him. I probably won't be able to now because, yeah, he's actually come out of the pits already. Let's see if I can undercut some of the other people who are near me or get close to it.
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done.
That's good. At least I've got the pace on Zhou. And I think I'm gaining on... Wait, where'd Albon go? The last Williams I saw was Albon, now it's Latifi, but I think I'm gaining on them at least. Yeah, I can tell, even with the hard tyres now, having the front wing repair is a lot better for me.
We're gaining by around 0.2 per lap. We're gaining by around 0.2 per lap. Okay, you're dropping back by around 0.2 each lap. And you're closing by 0.4 a lap. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap.
I'm trying so hard to gain on Latifi and catch him up here, but I'm barely even gaining on him. So annoying. And while I was getting annoyed at not being able to catch Latifi, Leclerc was overtaking Verstappen for the lead of the race.
Okay, so you're gaining by around 0.6 a lap. All right, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap.
I'm in the 1 seconds. I saw it drop down to 1 second on the Delta.
Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap.
I'm in the ones again. I'm getting closer. I just need to be within 1 second of one of those points to get DRS. That's all I need. If I get DRS once, it'll go so far.
And you're closing by 0.4 a lap. Keep it going.
Okay, that's a good gain. I just need to keep that up and hopefully I can actually get him before the end.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
I don't care about him. He's like 9 seconds behind. I care about Latifi.
Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap.
I'm getting so close, but the Delta, I'm not, with the amount of laps left, I'm not sure I'm actually going to be able to overtake him. But I'm so close. I'm close now. If I use my ERS down here, I might be able to get within DRS range. Come on. No, he's just got too far ahead. Wasn't quite able to get DRS range. But I'm so much closer now.
And you're closing by 0.4 a lap.
I'm going to use my ERS along here. I
Right,
usually
we've got
wouldn't.
enough fuel for 3 more
but-
laps.
I want to be close enough to get DRS into this section. Are you kidding me? I didn't manage it. For God's sake. I really thought I'd be close enough there. Okay, surely I'm going to be close enough by the end of this straight to get DRS. Yes, okay, I'm going to have it. Oh, finally. It's literally taken me about, what, 15 laps maybe to get that close. Be able to have DRS. But he's still gaining on me because he's probably using his battery. And I've not really got any. But I just need DRS through all the zones and then so hard push on the last lap. But I don't think I'm going to have it at next zone. I'm not going to be able to get close enough to him in time. This is so frustrating. Oh.
Oscar's coming in for his stop now.
No, Piastri's going to drop zone in positions because of that probably. He's probably got a damaged wing or something. Just go to the end on it. I don't know why the AI does that. Also, in other news, I'm very close to Latifi here. I'm using my battery
Okay, this is your
as
final
much
lap,
as I
final
can.
lap of the race.
I'm trying to get as much slipstream as possible. I'm kind of close to him. I've actually hit him, which is not what I wanted. But he's let me through there, and I've just got to stay ahead of him now. I mean, the overtake was, I'm going to say it was illegal, but I'm going to blame him for getting in my way. All I want to do is just beat Latifi here. That's all I want, man. He'll have DRS, and I've got a damaged wing, but all I want is to beat Latifi. I've been aiming ever since my pit stop. He pitted like the lap after or something, and I've had him in my sights. And that whole time, I've just been trying so hard to catch up to him. And I finally managed it on the last lap. My dive on him might have been a little bit illegal, a little bit too far, but I mean, I've ended up ahead. In real life, the FIA probably would have made me give up the place, but this is just a game. So I'm going to use that to my advantage and not give Latifi up the place. I'm going to keep 17th position here, hopefully, as long as he doesn't go past me on the straight. So after a good qualifying session, and then ended up on 10th on the grid, I took wing damage pretty early, and I've ended up 17th in the race. But after trying so hard at the end of the race, I'm literally sweating. I've managed to overtake Latifi on the last lap, which is sort of the best I could hope for. So 17th, pretty poor showing for the first race. Considering everything, I wasn't last. I was third to last, so it's not the worst thing in the world. So Leclerc won the race, Verstappen second, Sainz third, and Perez fourth. It's not really a surprise. The top two teams are in the front four positions, and then the third best team getting fifth, and I'm pretty sure it would have been Russell would have been sixth if he hadn't retired. But Mick Schumacher as well, getting his first ever points in F1. 6 of them as well, not too bad. But it's a poor showing for us after, I guess, both of us taking damage and having to pit. Oh yeah, Piastri didn't start that high up, did he? But he was ahead of me at one point, but he's pitted on the last lap for some stupid reason because the AI makes you do that, even though you probably wouldn't in real life. But there we go. 17th in the first race. Could have been better, could have been worse, but definitely better. But anyway, if you enjoyed this first episode of this series, then leave a like. I'm really excited to keep it going, so hopefully you enjoyed it as well. If you want to carry on watching this series, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.